Very good afternoon, my dear students. Welcome back to civics class. In this class, very interesting as well as very important concept that we are going to discuss, that is the executive. The second organ of the government, that is the executive. As we have learned in the beginning of civics class that there are three main organs are there in any form of government, that is state government or union government consists of three main organs, that is the legislature, the executive and the judiciary. As we have learned that the legislature, one of the organ which makes the laws, and second one the executive which implements the laws and runs the government in a smooth way. Second organ consists of the executive, which is consists of the government which implements the laws and runs the government in a smooth way. And third organ, judiciary, if any citizens of India does not enjoy the laws, and it protects the laws and ensure that all the citizens of India are getting justice with the laws. So these are the three major organs. Second organ, that is the executive. It is the composition of the president, vice president, the prime minister and the council of ministers. What is the composition of the executive? The composition of the executive is the president, the vice president, the prime minister and his council of ministers. Okay, now we will see more briefly about this organ, the executive. As we have discussed, laws are made by the parliament, that is by the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Laws are made by those two houses, by the parliament, that is the legislature. But it is a function of the executive to implement laws passed by the parliament. The executive head of the Indian Union is the president. Of course, in a parliamentary type of form, in a parliamentary form of government, there are two heads will be there, a nominal head and real head. Here the nominal head is the president. He is also known as the executive head, and the real head is the prime minister. The nominal head is the president and the real head is the prime minister, and the president also is called as the executive head of the Indian Union the vice president, the prime minister and the council of ministers and a large number of experts and administrative officials belonging to the civil services together execute the laws passed by the parliament. In the previous concept we have discussed that all the laws will be, the bills will be produced in the both houses. Ordinary bills can be put in the both houses and finally they will be passed. Once they passed, accepted by both the houses, and the president ensures that it is as a law. So whatever law is made by the parliament, by the both houses of the parliament, finally it has to be implemented by the executive members. Who are the executive members are here? As I have told, the president, the vice president, the prime minister and his council of ministers is known as the executive body. Besides this, all these four categories, all the civil servants also, civil service members, civil servants like IAS, IFS, IPS officers, all together work together and they will try to implement the laws which will be helpful for the citizens of India. Got it, my dear students? Next, how is the government formed? As I have told that to run in a smooth way, the executive body has to implement the laws to run the government. Now here, how is the government is formed? What is this government? How is the government is formed? Members who are elected generally belong to a political party. Of course, generally all the members, those who are elected generally, they belong to a certain political party. They should belong to a political party. These members, those who are elected by the people, they will belong to a political party. If a majority of the members elected in a parliament belong to one political party, together they elect their leader, who is then invited by the president to be the prime minister. Now I am telling that the procedure of the formation of the government. Now in elections, Lok Sabha elections, the members who are elected, obviously they will belong to a one kind of political party. Here, if majority of the members elected in parliament belong to one party, those who belong to a majority party, these people together they elect their leader, and he will be invited by the president to become as a prime minister. The prime minister then selects his or her team of members. This team of ministers must, under all circumstances, have the support of the majority of the members in the Lok Sabha. Here, parliament elections, which we have discussed, every 5 years once, Lok Sabha elections will be held. These Lok Sabha members will be elected every 5 years once. Out of these Lok Sabha members who have been elected, all must belong to one kind of political party. If one political party, any kind of political party, if one political party, certain political party wins a majority, and these party members will select out of them, amongst them, one as their leader, and that leader will be invited by the president, and president will ask him to form a government. So here the majority party, those who wins in the Lok Sabha elections, that party leader will form his ministers, and then all his ministers as well as the prime minister should work together, as well as they should be answerable to the Lok Sabha members also. Here the Lok Sabha members means other political party members, those who have been elected in the general elections. I hope you all have understood. If a particular party does not have the majority number of its own, for example, sometimes one particular party, then maybe, for example, if you take our parliamentary elections, Lok Sabha election, in the Lok Sabha elections of our parliament, like BJP and Congress, almost both will be going in a simultaneously almost equal seats, right? So in such conditions, we cannot expect which is having more majority, which will be having more majority. Sometimes BJP and the Congress, the BJP party and Congress, both almost equal number of seats if they win in the Lok Sabha elections, then whom they can consider as a majority party. In such cases, any of the party can ask other smaller parties, political parties, to join with them and to give support, to give more support. Then it can ask if members of any other party would support their leader. If the support of the other political parties is gathered, then it is called a coalition government. If a particular party does not have the majority number of its own, then it can ask the other party would support their leader. In such cases, a party which forms a government with the support of other parties is known as a coalition government. It is called as a coalition government. Now, of course, now the present ruling party, the BJP party, is not formed with a coalition government. It has got its own majority. My dear students, please note down. Okay, the process of repeated in the states, which is a chief minister replaces the prime minister. The same process is repeated, same procedure in the formation of state government also. It repeats, but there what is the change? In the union government, it is known as the prime minister. The leader is known as the prime minister. On the other hand, in the state government, the leader of the majority party is known as the chief minister. Got it? The same thing, same process will be formed in the formation of state government also. In the same way, the government is formed. This is a procedure to form the government. Yes. So far I have explained you how is a government formed, either in the union government or state government we have discussed. Now in a government, what is the responsibilities of the prime minister and his council of ministers? Here in a parliamentary form of government which we are enjoying in our India is also a parliamentary form of government. There will be two people, important people, that is executive members, a nominal executive head and a real head. Who is nominal executive head? As I have told, while the nominal head is the president and the real head is the prime minister assisted by council of ministers. The prime minister who is assisted by his council of ministers. It implies that all decisions are taken by the prime minister in consultation with the council of ministers. Hence, it is the most powerful post in India. The prime minister post is most powerful post in India. This team of members enforces the laws that are passed in the parliament. As I have told, the team of members, who are those? The prime minister and his council of ministers enforces, implements the laws which were passed in the parliament. Now, how is the prime minister and his council of ministers appointed? After elections, after Lok Sabha elections, as I have told already, the leader of the party that gains the absolute majority in the Lok Sabha is invited by the president to become the prime minister and announce his council of ministers. In case no party wins a clear-cut majority, this also I have told you already, 2 or more than parties may form a coalition government. The Prime Minister then prepares a list of ministers from the members of parliament to be given various portfolios. Here, in this way, the majority party leader will be invited by the president and he will be appointed as the prime minister, and the prime minister announces his council of ministers. Here, council of ministers means various categories will be there, right? In the prime minister, he alone cannot work to run the government in a smooth way. He has to appoint different departments to different people. These head of the departments are called as council of ministers. He appoints his council of ministers and he gives different departments, or it is called as portfolios. Different important departments or important portfolios he gives to his council of ministers. The prime minister then prepares a list of ministers from the members of parliament to be given various portfolios. In case a non-member of parliament is appointed as a minister, sometimes, my dear students, here it also happens, Lok Sabha elections, once if Lok Sabha elections are happened, the winning party people only will be appointed as member of parliament. The winning party, whether it is ruling party or an opposition party, whatever it may be, all 545 members can be appointed from different political parties as a member of parliament, as Lok Sabha member. Here, out of this, the majority party members will form the government with prime minister and his council of ministers. Sometimes, if the person belongs to a majority party, but unfortunately he could not win in the Lok Sabha elections, a person those who belongs to majority party, but he could not win in the election, Lok Sabha elections, where he stood for the elections in a particular place, but he also can be appointed as a council of ministers, because the prime minister may have confidence on the person as he is worthful for the council of minister as a minister, but unfortunately he might have not won from his place where he has stood for the elections. Have you got it? This person also can become as a council of ministers, though he is not a member of the parliament. But what is the next consequence? He can be appointed as the council of ministers by the prime minister, but he has to be proved. If in case a non-member of parliament is appointed as a minister, he must seek election and become a member of parliament within 6 months from the date of his appointment, or else he has to quit the ministry. That means he has to resign from the post of a ministership which is given to him. Once again, I will repeat, my dear. Once a majority party members will be elected, form as the government, and prime minister and his council of ministers. But sometimes, if he or she is not a member of the parliament also, that means if she is not elected as a MP, unfortunately he could not win in the elections. Wherever it is he has been stood, but the prime minister has the confidence on a particular person that he can appoint him as a council of ministers, as he can give any of the ministership to that person, but after getting the appointment as the minister, he or she has to prove within the parliament that he or she is eligible, capable to that ministry, and that within more majority has to be proved himself with more majority. If those people accepted with more majority, and then he can continue as a member of council of ministers. But if he or she does not prove, he or she has to resign from the ministry. This is very important question in the board exam, which is a part of 10th standard lesson, my dear. The legislature, the executive as well as the judiciary, three are very elaborately are explained in 10th standard as 5 lessons, so that I am explaining all these more detailedly. Then the president administers oath of office to all of them, including the prime minister. Once they have got appointment, the president administers the oath to the prime minister and council of ministers. The president does not appoint or dismiss anyone as a minister against the wishes of the prime minister. So actually the ministers hold office for as long as prime minister wants them to. Here the president does not have any right to appoint any minister, any of the person as a council of minister, or he does not have any right to dismiss any of the minister also. Only here all should be loyal or trustful to the prime minister. Prime minister has the right to appoint any of the person as council of minister, and he has the right to dismiss any of the person as the council of minister.